I'm Shelley Miles. We are spending the next half hour talking about addiction and recovery with our friends from Soba Texas. Joining us to tell us a little bit more, Greg Hanley is here. He's the CEO of Soba Recovery Center. Alex Dragici, fancy glasses today, by the way, Director of Operations, and actor Daniel Baldwin. It's good to see you guys. Thanks for coming this morning.
Yeah.
We have a lot of exciting things to talk about regarding a new facility, and we're going to get to that in just a little bit. For those of you that don't know about Soba Texas, hit the website because there's a lot of great information. We are very fortunate to have this exceptional recovery center in the San Antonio Hill Country. I know it's been very busy for you guys since you came to San Antonio because there is a real need for a recovery center like this. I want to start by talking about Prince's death. We are on, I guess, day 9 since Prince passed away, and new things are coming out every day about what he was dealing with. And I think the latest information has people saying, wait, I had no idea. And there are some concerns that Prince was addicted to opiates. And we talked about that the last time that you guys were here. So explain to our viewers how people become addicted to pain medication.
Well, it's kind of like there's a cup. The easiest way to explain it is your body produces serotonin on its own, and when you start taking opiates, it quits producing that. And so you have this little cup that is empty, and the only thing that fills it is putting more opiates in it. And the physical addiction is really strong. And as over time, the cup gets bigger until sooner or later your body can't handle a detox on its own. And a lot of times that people who are prescribed opiate-based pain medications are also so you have certain side effects that what they do is treat it with other medication. So if I'm on opiates and I can't sleep, they might give me a benzo, which would be a Xanax or a Klonopin or something like that, and not tell me that that won't leave my system for 18 days. So I'm taking this, I get anxious from one thing or can't, and the whole mixture is lethal. You throw a little alcohol on it, and it was pretty obvious that Prince had this type of problem, and like many celebrities, nobody would speak up. I think they Narcaned him on the plane flight. They talk about an emergency landing, and yet instead of sending him to treatment or detox, he went home and, had imminent demise like anybody else.
Yeah, they showed him going to the CVS right before, too.
Yeah.
His local CVS getting more pain meds.
Daniel, what's that? I mean, I know you have insight into the celebrity world. When you're someone who is that big and you've got this addiction, how are they getting to that medication? Is it easy access?
Well, the writing of prescriptions for prescription drugs, the cycle that we see for people that aren't famous is more compelling. When you're somebody at the level of this entertainer, you have a bunch of people around you who want to keep their jobs, who are paid well, who like the profile of themselves, who are going to yes you to death, no pun intended. So, but the cycle that's more compelling to me is the person that doesn't have access to millions of dollars, who gets hooked on a pain med, is no longer prescribed the pain med, and then turns around and has to go to illicit drugs in order to fill that opiate cup that Greg was just telling us about.
We talked about that last month because that next step is heroin, right? For a lot of people?
We talked earlier, Alex, Greg, and I, about only in this situation, if you had a heart attack and you went and they landed in an airplane and took you, do you think they would have let you sign yourself out and leave? If you were 5150, psychologically incapable, do you think they would have let you leave? If you had a stroke, if you had a car accident and broke your back, they would say, you're not going anywhere. You're staying here. Now, this guy has to land an airplane, the pilot, to take someone who they've shot with a drug to save his life, and he's allowed to sign out. How do we not change that to where you got to hold him for 72 hours and bring a counselor? Well, at least to bring a counselor in, because psychologically we can say you're not safe. You're not safe. And look what happened. But you know how many people this happens to that aren't famous rock stars that we don't hear about?
Right here in our backyard in San Antonio.
And maybe it's a little harder with somebody who's a huge international rock star with plenty of money, but in my view, if you have a kid or somebody in your family that you see is addicted to heroin or opiates, you should be able to mandate them into treatment.
For sure.
Because yeah, you can. The criteria for getting somebody involuntarily committed is that they're a harm to themselves or others. So if somebody is eating so many pills and they can't stop it, or they're taking heroin and they can't stop that, they are in danger. They are a danger to themselves and others.
You know, in Vegas, when you go to a casino, there's the thing, disclaimers everywhere. Do you have a gambling problem?
Yeah.
We will help you. Cigarettes, do you have a problem? Here's a phone number you can call to get help to get off the nicotine. The pharmaceutical company that's giving out these prescriptions say, do you have a problem? Here's our phone number. Here's how to get off this, or do something.
But they're creating it. So the solution to a problem they created is to give a different kind of medication. So all that's happening is changing drug dealers.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the only thing missing is the note. The only thing missing is the note. If I wrote, "Dear honey, I'm sorry, but I no longer want to be in this world," and you found me with the pill bottle open, lying in the bed, and they would make me stay psychologically for 72 hours. So he didn't write the note, but he OD'd on a plane, and they let him walk out of the hospital.
It's crazy.
He just didn't write the note.
It is crazy. And I want to talk a little bit more about opiates, because I think this is an opportunity to raise awareness about what is out there and what's available to people and what can happen when you abuse something like this. Opiates is a big word. What are some of those things that people have been prescribed? From back surgery, if you sprain your ankle, if you have any kind of procedure, you may have that in the house.
The dentist can write you a prescription for 100. You know, you get
Oxycontin,
Percocet, Vicodin is a real big one, Oxycontin, Norco.
And one that I didn't know that Greg just recently taught me was how many high school football players and athletes are getting an injury, and they turn and they go, you know what, this is going to hurt for a little while. They want to get them back on the field, or they want to alleviate the pain of the parent, and they don't realize what they're roping that kid into.
Absolutely. We've got to be super proactive as parents, especially with kids who are dealing with injuries, which is a lot of us. You have to know what these doctors are prescribing your kids. All right, don't go away. If you have got a question regarding recovery here in the San Antonio area, Soba Texas is the place to go. SobaTexas.com. The phone number is there on the screen, and we'll be right back.
No one is perfect. We all have our inner struggles. It may be alcohol, drug, or any type of addiction. Soba Recovery Center is here to offer free help. You can get the help and free information by calling right now from the privacy of your own home. Don't let alcohol, drug, or any addiction ruin your life. If you or a loved one have alcohol, drug, or any addiction, get help by calling right now. Soba Recovery Center. Most private insurance accepted.
Good morning, welcome back. We are talking about addiction and recovery with our friends from a facility in the Texas Hill Country. It's called Soba Texas. It really is a fantastic facility. We've been lucky to have been working with you guys, I think, for about 3 years now, and have only heard great things about this facility. And I love getting the word out. I love talking about the fact that there is an option for people who are dealing with addiction, and it's very close to home for you. I want to talk about this new facility that you guys are working on right now, and it's specifically for veterans suffering from PTSD. Tell me about this.
Veterans, first responders, and their families.
Okay.
We had originally found out through our realtor, shout out to Levi Rogers.
Hi, Levi.
He was one of the guys that were in a Humvee that it blew up, and he was the only seat that survived it.
Wow.
And so getting to know him and getting to know the veterans and what they need here, and we have been working on trying to buy a place, and we couldn't successfully do that. So we're building
there's the pictures of
This is what it will look like?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's should be done in about 6 months, and we're going to be happy to help veterans and their families. Where, you know, people don't realize that the loved ones who they live in post-traumatic stress, and whether their loved one comes back or, God forbid, they come back hurt, they need some help and counseling to just kind of reintegrate in life.
Yeah.
So we want to help. We had found out there was a waiting list of
I think it was
how many?
2,600.
2,600 on a waiting list for post-traumatic stress and substance abuse disorder, and they shouldn't have to wait for anything, ever.
Well, and the presence in San Antonio mirrors the entire Soba model, which was, you know, Greg originally looked at what works in recovery and literally listed what doesn't, and took those things that doesn't and either changed them or eliminated them from the program. The same will be said of here. As our presence is now 3 years in the San Antonio community, what does San Antonio really need? And you know, this is Military USA here, and these guys and ladies are coming home and they need some help. So, you know, I mean, he won't say it, but I will, because I'm not an employee of Soba. I'm a graduate of that program that saved my life. And so he continues, he and Alex in this community, to invest in the things that will help this community flourish.
This project that we're building, we can make it anywhere. And so this is the first.
Is the first,
yeah, it's taken a while to get to a point where, I mean, it's pretty complicated to be able to do this, and
it's on 1604 and right past Petranco and Dove Canyon.
Okay.
So the great thing is that we're going to have our own road right off of 1604.
yeah, we get to name a street.
So we get the name of street like Soba Recovery or Recovery Lane.
That's exciting.
Yeah, Recovery Road.
But I look at you guys talking about this, and it is your passion. It really is. And it's so clear to me to see how much you care about helping people find their life after, you know, going through a tough time. And you are doing it at Soba Texas, and now you're going to be helping our veterans as well. And I'm very excited about that. What is the difference between treating someone who's dealing with an addiction and helping someone recover from post-traumatic stress syndrome?
A lot of times they go hand in hand.
Okay.
So, and it depends. So it's getting them in the door. So people can come in and they can think they have all kinds of problems, and they find that they have a drug problem too, or they have an alcohol problem too. But it's similar because it's all internal with what's going on with you. And we do all of our, right now, and we have veteran beds at Soba Texas right now, and every one of our counselors are
master's
all
level clinicians.
Yeah,
trauma
they're
certified.
all trauma certified, and so people who have problems can come, and we have EMDR, which was originally invented for trauma for the Vietnam veterans, and we do a therapy called RRT, Rapid Resolution Therapy, that is amazing. And we have so many multiple types of therapies to help people just start feeling better about the world and life. And you know, so most of the people that walk in our door, they don't see a future. They will hope for it, and our job is to give just a glimmer of hope. And if we can get somebody to get a glimmer of hope, that we can build from that until somebody can have a nice life they deserve.
We're talking about how 3 years later, the greatest thing is our alumni meeting now.
Yeah.
And people getting multiple year chips.
Yeah.
That is...
Yeah, our very first guy has got almost
First
3
guy
years
into
now.
Soba?
Our first guy has got 3 years. And the original kid I took back with me, when I was just looking around here, I did an intervention in a hot garage with a kid. And and it was so cute how he didn't know who to go to and who could talk to him about this. And he kept getting closer and closer.
Scooting
and then I just told him, I go, why don't you just come on the plane with me? And he's got almost 3.5 years now, and you see from this just skinny kid and so much trouble and court and law and issues and family, just turn into this beautiful human being that actually works for us at in Ventura. And it's a blessing to be able to do this. We're also right now, I'm looking for an adolescent program.
Good.
We have another program that started up in hospitals where when they Narcan somebody, they call us and we send a counselor to talk to somebody in the emergency room
when they're coming back,
and help guide them into treatment. And we can get people into treatment of any level. We hired a new guy that has 2 people I hired who have access to every level of treatment. So if somebody doesn't have money, they don't have any resources at all, they'll find them a bed, and I'm happy to have them on our team now. One of them is actually down in South, like Corpus and kind of that area, and yeah, so we're going to be working with people down there a lot too now.
If I could title a documentary of something, it would be The 90-Day Mom. Now, as much as it is nice to see that kid that graduated, 3 years ago, Greg and Alex will tell you, the look of a mom when she shows up after that kid gets 90 days, they don't recognize their own kid anymore. Yeah. They look at their kid and they go, that's my son. You know what I mean? That and the
I have
hug,
my son back.
Yeah, right.
I have my daughter
that
back.
hug they give Greg, when they go, God, thank you, from a mom. I mean, it's so powerful to see the light come back on, and it's just amazing.
It is all about finding the right place, and the right place is right here in the San Antonio Hill Country. It's Soba, Texas, and we have more when we come back. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. We are talking with our friends from Soba, Texas. It is an addiction and recovery center in the Texas Hill Country. Greg Hanley is the CEO. Alex Dragici is the director of operations, and actor Daniel Baldwin. Thanks for having, for staying with us this morning. It's been a great conversation. I always learn a lot when you guys are here, and it's great to help people. So thanks for sticking around. I want to talk a little bit about the magazine that Soba produces. It's called Recovery Today. All sorts of great articles in there. But what's interesting is a lot of us will recognize this guy. It's the Situation from Jersey Shore. I did not know that he had a painkiller addiction.
Well, he was the face of one of the biggest reality TV shows ever. That had 6 to 8 million viewers a week, and he was the face of partying and drinking and partying. And then when they were done, they would just keep partying, and then some more and more and more and more, and now it's not the case. Now he's going to end up turning to the face of recovery, because being sober is cool.
Great to see him as the face of recovery, because so many people, and I know this because we all
look how good he looks.
Yes, he looks fantastic.
He's a different individual than shots, drinks, and all that was happening was going downhill, and
well,
he crashed.
he's cool.
And that's what you
people
guys
are going to
say.
call him. He's cool now.
Yes.
And this is the kind of cool that we want people to follow.
Absolutely.
Not that,
you got to be a
and
part
he's got a
of the
lot
cool
of
club.
followers.
Yes.
A lot of followers and people that look up to him and know exactly. And him
But yeah,
telling
he's
the
going to
kids,
get addicted to pills too.
Yeah.
If you're just eating pills and drinking and doing stuff, sooner or later you have to have them. You go from wanting to have them to having to have them, and when you cross that line, you need to get some kind of help and some are dangerous to stop on your own, very dangerous, and then some you just can't. It's so painful that you need to get a detox that is going to be kind of supervised, and you have some medicine that helps you be able to sleep and not be anxious and not be cramping up and have the flu, like the 10 times horrible flu symptoms that you get, not to seizure. And we not only do just like long-term heroin, that's a conversation a lot, but we can detox pill moms. If there is, if you're wondering if you're taking too much, you probably are. And we can help by just bringing people in and getting them clean off of it and get a baseline so that they're not going to have too much and have really bad problems that can't be fixed in their life.
I want to talk real quick a little bit more about Mike, because when you see him on the cover, a lot of young people who are out there partying, who are addicted to this and that, they think that lifestyle is cool because all their friends are there. When they see someone else that they can look up to, who is now clean and sober, who is still leading a great life, I hope that can inspire them.
He's going to have a better life.
Absolutely.
Even better life.
And what an interesting way to look at it, because we talked about this earlier, and that is, just in the last 5 years, the message to these young kids, I brought up Greg's son, Vincent, who is a freshman in college, has never had a drink, has never done a drug, has been well aware of the situation, around him with his father in the business that he's in, and the amount of lives that he's saved.
Never had a problem either.
Yeah.
But people look up to him. Those kids now, and his daughter's, friends and so, they look up to Vincent. They want to be like that.
Yeah.
Being sober is cool now. It's really changed the message in the last few years. It really has.
Well, I'll tell you what, I think it's cool, and I think it's cool to be a part of your club, because I know all of your SOBA graduates, you all hang together, you all inspire and mentor each other, and that's what SOBA is all about. It's not a 30-day detox. It is a life-changing program that you will be a part of, and you'll have a team to help you for the rest of your life. All right, we've got a couple more minutes. We'll come back. More with Soba Texas. Thanks for joining us this morning. Great conversation. Always love when you guys are here, because we're able to help people. And I think a lot of people that are watching are wondering, is there room in the facility?
Well, we're constantly expanding, and yes, we do have beds and spaces available. It starts with a phone call or reach out. All three of us get personal messages, whether it's on Facebook or Twitter, and people can call. And if we don't have a spot here, well, we might have a spot in California or in Arizona. So,
and thank you for having us, because people are familiar with you. You're saving lives too. We get a lot of people that go, my mom saw you on TV. And sometimes you got to hear it a lot, and being able to come and do this again and again is something that gets people familiar and gives them comfort to make a phone call and talk. So thank you.
Thank you, Greg. The phone number is on your screen. It's Soba Texas in the Texas Hill Country. We'll see you next time.
Do you like the beard?
I love the beard.
He's the most interesting rehab owner in the world.
No one is perfect. We all have our inner struggles. It may be alcohol, drug, or any type of addiction. Soba Recovery Center is here to offer free help. You can get the help and free information by calling right now from the privacy of your own home. Don't let alcohol, drug, or any addiction ruin your life. If you or a loved one have alcohol, drug, or any addiction, get help by calling right now. Soba Recovery Center. Most private insurance accepted.